And today on the program, we tackle a ruling that has stirred intense debate across Nigeria. A federal high court in Abuja, led by Justice James Omotosho, has struck out an ex parte motion by Nnamdi Kanu, leader of IPOB, seeking a transfer from the Sokoto Correctional Facility. His legal team argued the move was necessary, citing concerns about his detention. But the court refused, calling the motion procedurally improper. The judge said technical legal rules must be followed, and the authorities responsible for prison management must be heard before any transfer can happen. So here's a question. Is this about upholding the law or shielding the state from scrutiny? When a detainee's location is decided solely by the state, who really holds the power, the law or the government? And across Nigeria, people are asking the tough questions. If these were not Nnamdi Kanu, would the decision have been the same? Is justice being applied equally or selectively? And what does this say about the balance of human rights, state authority, and the courts? Joining me to have this conversation is First Net political analyst, King Sojalo. Please stay with us. Welcome back to the program, Citizens Dialogue on First Net News Potako. Thanks for joining us. I am Becky Usoro. Still here on set with me is King Sojalo. It's a pleasure having you on set, King Sojalo.
Thank you so much, Becky.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
I hope you're doing great.
Well, of course.
Your nose has been going up and down. What's going on?
Honestly, probably a little.
Is the weather?
A little, yes, kind of.
Okay, I guess with the dust probably when coming to work or something.
If you look at the construction movement, you can see rumbling of dust everywhere. But
it's really affecting.
It will be taken care of.
It will be taken care of.
Of course.
Definitely. I trust you on that. Okay, so let's just head straight to the story.
Okay.
You know, you're looking at what happened to Nnamdi Kanu.
Yeah.
How are Nigerians reacting to this decision?
Okay, now, well, if you look at it, I think this situation is kind of, is pretty, should I use the word, not really, polite in the sight of most Nigerians, most especially from the south, in the southeast as well, because we could recall where, the case was last year where it was ruled to on the 26th, and which the IPOB leader we're talking about, Nnamdi Kanu, has made an appeal that this his case and thereabouts should be moved to Abuja, and also there will be able to be a fair deliberation on this matter, and also having closeness, that's connection to his family as well, and easy means of connection, let me put it that way. But fortunately, if you look at the ruling of Justice Omotosho, it has turned the other way around.
When you mean turn the other way, what do you mean by that?
Yes.
Is it not a fair decision to make?
Well, I thought I think it's something that would have been pretty begged and looked into, crucially. Now, we could see that is the judge who has been assigned to handle this case. That we're talking about the life of Hassan.
The judge or the lawyer?
The lawyer, rather.
Okay.
Who has been assigned to handle this case. We're talking about Hassan. Has really, he came out and said he's withdrawing from the case. He also cited one or two reasons that that is Nnamdi Kanu gave him a demand that he should write down his statement, which he is going to make.
So is it that Nnamdi Kanu lawyer would have done something different to get,
I think that is what he's trying to emphasize.
Okay.
And the reason of his withdrawal from this whole case and thereabout. So from the look of this, it has turned another way around, and which is not really good, good in the sight of Nigeria. Definitely causing great headache in this case of Nnamdi Kanu.
Okay.
Now, what we were expecting. Fine, even if the judiciary were not really going to, make his appeal, come to life, at least we would have seen further movement whereby, the Justice Omotosho would have made clear consideration on how to. Now, it talks about his health condition and, connectivity between him and his family, and also, a clear jurisdiction that will allow his case to be brought to fair hearing in the system. Because if you look at it, being in Sokoto Correctional Center, it looks as if he's being denied of so many things. You understand? Probably most Nigerians might think probably there's a partiality somewhere You
So if
understand?
this was to be a high-profile person, would it come out the same way, or the outcome will be, quite different?
It will become quite different. Let me drive back to, okay, look at Sunday Igboho, the Oduduwa agitator. He was pardoned by the federal government, and he has returned back to base, which is his hometown in Ibadan, that is in Oyo State. And now we are in the case of Nnamdi Kanu. Now, one want to think, what is making, it looks as if there's partiality somewhere, which
You say partiality?
yes, which maybe probably they are not really throwing up to us, which they don't want to really make it clear. They don't want Nigeria to really have a clear view of it. Now, my own consideration on this matter is very, very simple. I think, he has been asked to get another lawyer that will be able to intercede in this matter.
Okay.
Probably that will be between now till April. So we are just looking at probably 1 or 2 months left for him, or else
so just
it will be permanently placed in this order for him to remain in that custody.
So what message does this send about power, governance, and accountability to Nigerians?
Yes, first of all, I will start with our judiciary system. Our judiciary system should be fair enough to carry out judges, and to carry out their whatever motion they are bringing out in fairness.
Okay.
If you recall, where even the federal government made it very clear that our judiciaries should, whatever motion they deal on, should be fair. You understand? Because our judiciaries are kind of making things look difficult, most especially in the lives of citizens, and also those who are having cases in their custody. So our judiciary system should be really, really fair in their jurisdiction at all time.
Thank you so much, King Sajalo.
Thank you, Becky.
The National Secretary of the African Democratic Party, ADC, Ogbeni Ariboshola, has challenged President Bola Tinubu to make public commitment to ensuring free, fair and transparent elections ahead of the 2027 presidential election, general polls, insisting that democracy can only be strengthened if the federal government guarantees electoral integrity, impartial security agencies, and the independence of the electoral umpire. He argues that Nigerians need more than assurances. They need clear public commitments from the presidency. Now, why is Obemi, making this call now, barely halfway into President Tinubu's administration?
Well, we looking at the system of our Nigeria, you see, corruption has really embedded in the system of this country.
Okay.
Now, I think he has really done it. He has really done the needful. Yes, I really good
said.
Yes, I really good give kudos.
Oh, he has spoke on behalf of Nigerians.
Of course, on behalf of Nigeria. That's why I say. That's why I'm giving him that kudos.
Okay.
Because now, if you look at our previous election, we haven't really gotten clear view. Yes, there be critics and there, but Nigeria has not really had clear view of what really propaganda in that previous election. We're talking about the presidential election. Now, we don't really want, even if it was fair, even if it was not, we don't care. But looking at this 2027 coming election, that there shouldn't be a repeated, mistake, or should I use the word repeated, propaganda that might have taken place. Now, everybody has, I think this is a challenge to the president that, look, if you know that, yes, you are not going to make this election to be you are not going to have anything to do with corruption during this previous election. Come out, make it clear to Nigerians that, look, I am willing to be above any misconduct during this election. That is what he's trying to say. And just as you said, he's speaking on behalf of Nigerians. Let the president, if possible, bring a written note and put it down or take it to
Can that really be realistic for the for President Tinubu to come out?
Probably that would be an impossible move. But this is a challenge. Let the president make a signature. Let it be a sign to the Federal Republic of Nigeria that, look, this will be a free and fair election, and let him really stay to his word, so that Nigeria will be a witness. Every other coalition who is standing against the APC movement should be a witness to it. And also the institution I'm talking about, INEC, shouldn't be by the side of any coalition. They should stand firm in whatever they are doing coming 2020. They let us see if the ruling party will gain its stance again.
So could this statement reshape opposition politics ahead of the 2027 general election?
Of course, we will definitely see changes. We will definitely see changes. So we can't be over-determined right now that if the election will be free and fair, the ADC is going to win, because even the ADC, yes, even the APC, they also have supporters. Let's be honest. Forget the critics from most oppositions.
Every opposition party.
But if you look at it, most oppositions have really come out clear that look, Nigerians are not on the side of the ruling party, except probably they are going for a propaganda means to win the election. But let's be honest, even with the situation happening in the country, I can bet you that APC also have good loyalists and supporters who are going to fully back them up in this 2027 polls. So we shouldn't just be over-determined to say, okay, if the election is free and fair, APC doesn't have a chance. Other coalition also have their little thoughts, and which they will have to state the facts.
Thank you so much, King Sojalo. It's still the show Citizens Dialogue on Fastness in Port Harcourt. Let's go for a short break. When we return, we'll be looking at 5,000 jobs approved in River State. Is this real governance or political survival strategy? Governor Similayo Fubara has approved the recruitment of over 5,000 Rivers indigenes into the state civil service, a move his supporters say shows commitment to governance and job creation. But critics, of course, are asking tough questions. Is this recruitment a long-term solution to River State challenges, or a short-term political move amid lingering instability, power tussles, and questions over performance? With the state still recovering from months of political tension and governance disruptions, does this decision signal renewed focus on service delivery, or is this damage control? We will break down when we return. Please stay with us. Welcome back to the show Citizens Dialogue on Fastness News Port Harcourt. I am Becky Osoro. Still here on set with me is King Sojalo. In December 2025, Governor Fubara approved and revalidated the appointment of 1,000 teachers who had been originally recruited in 2023. This was part of efforts to address manpower gaps in public schools and involved the revalidation exercise around December 2nd to 3rd, 2025. Looking at the recent, recent employment of 5,000 people that he just recruited, given the political turmoil and power struggles the state has faced, in recent power and months, should this move be seen as governance or a political survivor, Kings?
Apart from being a political survivor, I think
looking at what has just been happening, recently.
The crisis and thereabouts. Looking at this remark, I think this is a move by the River State governor showing to those who are criticizing him, oppositions and thereabout, despite the crisis happening, the political crisis. He has really stated the fact that, look, I still have my people at hand, no matter the crisis. You understand? And that is what I like about the governor. You understand? Recruiting 5,000 workers, in the government services, it shows that, yes, the government, people will say, okay, maybe because he is interested in the second term. Even before if you could recall, even before the emergency, state emergency ruling from the president, he has been doing so many deliberate things. You understand? So this is also a continuation. Now, he made 5,000 recruitments, which some recruitments are, belong to the educational sector. That is 3,000 teachers and also 2,000 teachers for the secondary school. I think this is basically this is the basic sector which is really making this recruitment for, because considering the tertiary institution, talking about the primary level and secondary level, is really letting them know that, look, my purpose of being your state government is to have a continuous, deliberate move to make sure the growth and the well-being of Rivers people is still my priority. So no matter the critics, no matter the crisis happening politically, the government is still showing effortry to do its diligent work as a governor. So
should Rivers people see this as a turning point or just another headline?
No,
that won't translate into real challenge.
Headlines are everywhere, baby. You understand? Headlines are everywhere.
It's not transferring to real challenge.
It's a eye opener for them. This is a eye opener that, look, this is the best man for us. No matter the crisis facing him. So all they need to do now is to stand firm with him, and also those who are in his cabals should also find means to also help remove these burdens that might be surrounded, that has been surrounding the governor himself.
Okay.
I think that is what his cabals and also the people of Rivers State should help the governor do, because to me, Fubara is really, really working. This move alone, is that, just like I said, is an eye opener to Rivers people and also every individual that look, the state government is really, really working. It really has the people at hand.
So finally, what does this send to critics who argue that the government has been more focused on political battles than governance?
Yes, I appreciate you for that question. I think critics and also those of high profile personnel who have been rolling impeachment and thereabout, they should have a reconsideration. You understand? Know their motive and their emotion is all about. And it's a sound warning that look, our emotions, we are heading it directly to the wrong person. Let them find another person who they should be preparing an impeachment for, because Fubara is doing his work. If an impeachment should be raised against a state governor, it's probably is in a negative side. Someone who is not making deliberate moves in solving state problems. But he is someone who is really addressing issues. We are talking about tragic issues, because the educational sector is one of the major things that really benefits the well-being of the citizens of every state.
Nigeria.
For the governor to have really deliberate on this issue, say I don't think why someone would just cook up an impeachment notice on the state governor who really has eye on his people. So to them, they should know that yes, they've been accusing the wrong person, and they should find way to settle the menace happening between the state governor and themselves.
Thank you so much, King Sojalo.
It's
always a pleasure having you on set.
Thank you so much, Becky.
Thanks everyone. That's our show for today. Citizens Dialogue on First Next News Port Harcourt. I am Becky Osoro. Many thanks for watching. Bye for now.